Hello guys, today I have the Lasko Power Plus box fan. This fan is now used in the basement to cool off this room. This is a pretty large room. It's around how many square feet? I have no idea, but it's a large room. We use this box fan to cool off the area as this room doesn't really require air conditioning at all. It would be cool to have a P-TAC, but it doesn't need AC, and this box fan gets the room cold enough until it's going to eventually get replaced with a vintage box fan. But for now, the Lasko Power Plus box fan is okay for the room. With that said, you might as well just go ahead and start up on high. Now we're using high because it does get kind of obnoxious, but let's go ahead and start up on high. Actually, before we do that, we gotta take a look at the state that the box fan is in. This is a modern box fan. I brought it from Home Depot. I think last year. I don't know. I brought it around like early last year, but yeah. Both feet already broken. The knob you kind of have to, there. The knob's already falling apart. This is getting loose. This is why I don't really like modern box fans, but this will be replaced with a proper vintage one. And the side panels are coming loose a little bit. Yeah, that's gone. I may swap it out with this 3733, but other than that, everything else is fine. It still works. Rows a little bit. It's a little unstable. I don't know what the heck's going on with that blade, but I swear that blade's melting. I swear that blade must be slowly turning into dust. And it's a little bit rusty. Now, I may take this out to clean it, but I don't really use it that much. But yeah, it's a little dusty and rusty. Like, I don't, what is that? That's actual rust. At least the metal still gets held up fine, but yeah, that's just what we got. That's what we're dealing with today. All right. Probably gonna get another box fan to cool off the secondary house. But yeah. With that said, let's start up on high. All right, with all the other stuff said, it still works as a nice little box fan. That's a nice breeze I'm getting. It is shaking quite a lot. Yikes. Yeah, it's definitely a beater box fan, but yeah, that's why I don't use it on high, because it's gonna slowly destroy the bearings. But it is moving a decent amount of air for a modern fan. If I go all the way back here, you can feel a nice breeze. But it is a little bit difficult to hear a CV over it, and it is shaking that ever so slightly. Ceiling fans make that absolutely awful 60 hertz hum, so that's why we have the box fan. And I guess in the winter it could try to help circulate the heater, but other than that, good. The speed I use it on the most is medium. And it stopped shaking. It's actually somewhat stable. Yep, has more than enough room. Nice big dents in the side. I think it came like that from Home Depot, which I don't know how I let that slide past me, but medium's the speed it gets used on the most. Whenever we're spending time down in here watching TV on this ridiculous Samsung, it does a good job, especially when you're sitting in here. If you're warm, just sit in the chair and you'll get cooled off in a couple of seconds. And it's actually a good sound now. It's not that high pitched or frequency, but yeah, you can still hear it. You have to crank up the TV a little bit, but yeah, it's still kicking. Here we can see what the temperature is now. It's around 70 degrees, which is really decent. 71, 70. I don't even know if that works, to be honest. That thing's been sitting there for years. And let's go to low. Low doesn't really move enough air, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference in sound to be used on that speed. Back in the other house, it was used on low. And I guess it could get used in low if we're trying to listen to some shows without having to crank up the volume too much. Yeah, it's kind of circulating the air. Once you get here, it doesn't really circulate anymore, so maybe it could be accompanied by a tower fan on that little refrigerator. But yeah, this fan can run in with just a regular Lasko tower fan. Hopefully a non-digital one. This move, I don't know what the purpose of that is. They might as well cover it up so it can save on audio. But there's nothing coming through it. So I don't know why it's there. It only really starts here and then it spreads out. But I guess it's better than nothing. And off. Okay, spin down time is still decent. I haven't oiled it yet, which it probably should. It's definitely could be better. And it will be replaced with a proper vintage box fan as soon as possible. Then we will definitely won't need an AC. If I were to ever own this house, if I can't find a decent box fan, I'll just put a giant window AC down here and just use it as a fan. And that would actually be pretty good. And the benefit of having a giant window AC here, it would be a good dehumidifier. So it would double as a dehumidifier. Maybe a heat pump? Who knows? I can find one, but yeah, for the heater, we just use this nice pellet stove. This thing has not let us down ever, which I don't know how, but there was nothing in there. Wow. We burned every last pellet out, but yeah, really reliable machine. This box fan, it could fail to next week. You just gotta look at this. This is just a disaster. The plastic, I don't even know why I brought this. Look at that. Didn't even try to get that off. The other sides of the box fan down here, just awful. It is so awful. Then look at this. You can bend the entire thing in. One fall, I think one more fall and the blade's probably gonna explode. So, yeah, look at that. It's just awful. But it's just a fan, and it does do a good job for what it was. It was quite expensive. It's almost like $25. You're selling for like $39, which I think is highway robbery for something like this. There's no way something like this can be worth $39. It's just not. But it does cool down the room, and I have to give it that. It hasn't failed yet. And it's a nice little box fan, and I really like box fans, so yeah. Yep. And one more closing dot. Anyone know why a box fan rusting? I know it's not humid down here, but yeah, some minute dust. I'll give it a wash today, actually, since I'm extremely bored. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.